In today's Leeds news, Guilavogui signs, Ramazani injury update, Hendrie critical of Leeds, Merson blown away, and the Leeds Legends game details. Morning folks, you're here Wednesday morning the 23rd of October with your Leeds United news. Leeds possibly got away with one a little bit last night, not the perfect, crisp, clean performance, especially after the first 10 minutes where Leeds looked to be very, very dominant and very, very in control, and probably the best 10 minutes I've seen of Leeds start a game since probably the Norwich game in the playoff semi-final. But they did take the foot off the gas a little bit, and Watford got back into the game, but 3 points is 3 points, and Leeds really needed to clock them up last night. Joint top of the table last night. That one goal they conceded, enough to keep Leeds off the top for now anyway, but moving in the right direction, coming into some easier games, I should say. In the Championship last night was very much a Championship game, so we'll see what happens over the next couple of games. We've got a bit to get into. We've got some good news on the free agent signing. We've got an update on the Ramazani injury, as well as some insight from the pundits around Leeds' performance last night. And also at the very end of the video, we have some information around the Leeds Legends game that will be playing the Borough Legends in the Carlisle grounds on May 10th next year. You can check the details out. There's a link down below for tickets for that, as well as the dinner and everything else that goes along with that. But we'll have more details at the end. Let's start off with the Guilavogui signing, and we thought that we were getting close to this, and Daniel Farke's comments in the press conference in midweek did give the impression that we weren't far away from a deal being done. Lots of other names had started to pop into the mix again yesterday, but Guilavogui was pictured at Ellen Road again last night, and the second time that he has appeared at the club, which added a little bit more credence to the comments that Farke had made earlier in the week about it being done in the next couple of days. Well, this morning, Fabrizio Romano has put his usual "here we go" tweet out, confirming that Leeds United have signed Joshua Guilavogui on a free transfer. No details on the length of the deal. He does say a statement from Leeds United is due out with more details on this. But at 34 years of age, Joshua Guilavogui adds a ton of experience, specifically in the role that he will be expected to play for Leeds, which is very much a backup role and sitting on the bench. He has a huge amount of experience playing at Mainz, Wolfsburg and at Atletico Madrid as well. Over 200 appearances in the German Bundesliga and over 100 appearances in Ligue 1 in France. He brings a ton of experience, but the main part is the profile of the player, and Farke again has talked extensively about getting the right profile of player. Guilavogui can play in two positions that will definitely be of some relief for Daniel Farke with the issues that we have right now. He can play central defensive midfielder, which we know he wants, although Autanaka playing in that role last night was phenomenal. But he can also play as a centre back, and with Joe Rodon sitting one yellow card away from a suspension, the timing of this one coming in could be perfect. As I said yesterday, you got the international break coming up as well, which will give him a real chance to get up to speed and fitness levels with this team. But Guilavogui was one of several players that had been rumoured to be at Thorpe Arch. Francis Coquelin, even as early as this morning, is being rumoured about turning up at Ellen Road again, which is not happening. But he was one of several ones, but it appears to be the right signing for Daniel Farke. We heard the Czech Kuyate stuff a couple of weeks ago. Yes, he could also do the centre defensive midfielder and centre back position, but there was rumours that he had asked for more money over the course of a weekend, and then rumours around a failed medical, although they came from Football Insider, so probably not believable. But this does tick all the boxes. It's a good signing. It's a sensible signing at a point. Doesn't need to blow anyone's socks off. He doesn't have to be a world beater. He will be predominantly sitting on the bench, and when Ampadu and Gruev come back, he will move away for them to facilitate that move. So yeah, decent one done, and we can move on now. Moving on to largely Ramazani, and last night we all got a little bit worried, and Leeds could definitely do with a little bit of luck when it comes to the injury situation. And large Ramazani is the latest Leeds player to suffer an injury and give us a little bit of a headache with the injuries we've had of late. Ramazani has added goals and assists at his time at Leeds United so far, and has been a real live wire and a very exciting player, and last night looked to be very much the man that was dictating Leeds' tempo once we got into the final third of the pitch. Unfortunately, at the 10th minute, he went into a 50-50 tackle and appeared to have his ankles taken out from underneath him. It was a fair tackle. It was just a meaty, strong tackle, and he got hit pretty hard. And it appeared that his leg had gotten caught under the defender. Now, we're waiting on updates on this, and although he did reappear for a few moments on the 14th minute, Ramazani did come off the field to be replaced by Manor Solomon. The positive on this situation is that he did walk off under his own power, albeit with a little bit of a limp. Daniel Farke has confirmed that Ramazani will have a scan on the ankle to check the severity of it, but at the moment they believe that the player has either rolled or twisted his ankle, And as Tony DeRigo said last night on commentary, you would hope it's an impact injury and not anything to do with ligaments or muscles, and it appears to be that case right now. Even if it is only a minor injury and keeps him out for a couple of days, Daniel Farke has also said the short turnaround to the game on Saturday means he's very unlikely to be involved in that game, which will give Manor Solomon an opportunity to come back into the side and maybe show a little bit more than he showed last night. Definitely not at 100% and definitely not flying fit right now. He needs some games to get back to what we saw when he came into the Leeds team in the first place. And moving on to last night's game, and there's been a mixed bag of criticism and praise from the Sky pundits. And we'll start off with Lee Hendrie, who really doesn't have anything positive to say about Leeds United's performance last night and has been very critical in his judgment of the performance. Leeds' first 10 minutes for me, as I said, was probably the best that I've seen us play at the start of a game since the Norwich semi-final playoff win. And for me, it showed that this team has levels and gears, and Leeds, when they really want to push on, they can, and they really do have some serious momentum to them. But we did see that familiar drop-off in intensity that usually happens in the second half in games that Leeds are winning, but it happened very early in this game as soon as Leeds got the second goal. And it took some time for Leeds to get going in the second half after conceding a sloppy goal as a result of not being awake and at it for the start of the second half. Speaking on Sky, Lee Hendrie had the following to say about Leeds' performance. Leeds have been nowhere near their best. I suppose they haven't had to be. They've been handed 2 goals, if you like. Yes, I know you have to be in the right areas. You have to press and put the ball in certain areas. You feel like Watford have had really good spells of play. I've been really disappointed with Leeds. After having that frantic start, they haven't got going after that. Now, some of his points are accurate. Leeds didn't really get going, but they didn't have to. I think the complacency may have set in the first half, with Leeds being very, very comfortable early on. But you don't want to see that from a team, especially at 2-0. You want to see Leeds drive on and put a third past the team and a fourth. And because of how early it was in the game, there's nothing around legs and managing minutes. They could have very easily done that. But Leeds did sit back. But you've got to give Watford credit as well. They came out in the second half pretty strong and pushed Leeds back and managed to get a goal early on. But there was a concerning comment from me. Daniel Farke in the press conference did say that he got worried when Leeds went 2-0 up and feared that complacency could actually set in. And you would hope that it wasn't his decision to tell Leeds to drop off and sit back and hold for a bit. Because once you drop off down the gears, as Tony DeRigo again said last night, once you go down through the gears, it's very hard to get going again. You would hope that it was just something that happened in the game, a decision made by the players in the park and not a decision from the sideline. But Watford took advantage of that and got a goal, but Leeds did have enough in the end. And realistically, if you look at the chances Leeds had, Villanonta put the ball straight at the keeper, Joel Pirro put the ball straight at the goalkeeper, Matteo Joseph put the ball straight at the goalkeeper. All really good, clean, open opportunities for Leeds to score. Could have very easily put the game to bed last night if they'd been a little bit more accurate with their finishing. And we've talked about being clinical all year, and we have to wait and see. And Daniel Farke has talked about it as well, so that's something that'll have to get sorted out. But Paul Merson on Sky has had the opposite. He's been blown away by Leeds United so far, and in a different take on this, Merson cannot believe how good Leeds have been this season, despite the fact that they've sold £120 million worth of talent. Merson on Leeds United said the following: "It's unbelievable really, because usually when you come down you sell your best players, but they haven't had to settle the books completely this year. They've been amazing so far this season. They've gotten rid of their players, and the players they bring in, they know how to play in this league. It's hard playing at Leeds United. It's a hard place to play. It's a championship team, but really a Premier League club, in my opinion, with that fan base." Merson went on to talk about the fact that he looks forward to seeing Leeds United back in the Premier League and that they deserve to be there and that the league needs them. Leeds are a proper club with proper fans, but Leeds will need to earn it. And the big thing for Leeds, if you look at the games this season, Leeds have only lost once this season. That was coming from an error from Manor Solomon, which led to Burnley's goal and maybe some questionable defending from Jayden Bogle and Ilan Meslier. If Leeds can minimise the amount of mistakes they're making and the errors and minimise those, Leeds would look and appear to have everything on paper to get out of this league. But it has been a case that the goals that Leeds have conceded this season have very much been of our own making and our own errors, and they need to just cut that out. But it's a young side and you get mistakes from young sides, and that can happen. And folks, we're going to move on to the final bit today, and this is just the information on the Leeds Legends who'll be travelling to Dublin in May to play against the Borough Legends down in Dunleary. And we've got some information on the Leeds Legends game that will take place on May 10th. Leeds Legends will be bringing a team over to play the Borough Legends in a game on May 10th 2025. There's a good site coming over. Ian Hart has been pushing this as well and promoting it. There's some details on his page, and if you can check them out in the links below if you're interested in attending the game, get tickets for the match in the Carlisle ground in Bray, or if you want to do the meet and greets, there's details down below, and it's looking like a pretty decent site. Some of the names have been mentioned so far, and as more get confirmed, I will bring them to you over the course of the next couple of weeks and months, and hopefully at some point we might even get one or two of them on to have a conversation and try and tell you more about what we're looking at here with this game. But the Tony McGurk trophy will be up for grabs in the game between the Borough Legends and the Leeds United Legends. Details down below. Check them out if you want it. It'd be a cracking one to get to. I would advise you to get a ticket for this. There's going to be some big names at this game, and very, very, very worthwhile going to see this match. I'm looking forward to going there myself. That'll be it for me today, folks. Massive thanks as always for supporting the channel. That'll be it for me today, folks. Massive thanks as always for supporting the channel. Back tomorrow with the preview ahead of the game on Saturday, and we'll do some form of a review from the game last night as well, included in that. So yeah, and then we'll have the podcast out on Friday for everybody as well. So massive thanks as always. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.